You know, usually they say that if your friends don't like your hobbies, then you should get new friends, but I didn't really have that option, and so what I'm gonna do is just force my hobbies on my friends. Today, we're gonna make Brady build a D&D character. Brady, get in here! That's how I summon them.
Yes, sir.
I'm filming.
Oh, you're filming right now?
I already filmed the intro. Sit down, sir.
How do you film the intro without me?
Because I filmed it. Because I said, remember, how you filmed the intro without me?
Hello.
Hello. So we're gonna make you build a D&D character. I don't have a pencil, but that's okay. We're just gonna remember the answer to these questions. So you've never played, correct?
Correct.
Not even once. Like, you've played Dark Alliance.
Okay, I have played once.
Oh, you played D&D once?
I played D&D once.
Ooh, okay.
As a DM, and it was a mess.
Wait, you DM'd your first time ever playing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a horrible mistake, sir.
Yeah, of course it was.
Ooh.
It was one of those things where it's like you have the pre-made set.
Oh, wait, Lost Mines of Phandelver?
It had the dragon.
The green dragon?
I think so.
Was it a green dragon or a white dragon?
I think it was a green dragon.
Then it was Lost Mines of Phandelver.
Yeah, so that...
Phandelver, however.
We did like the first mission from that.
Oh yeah, like the Red Brand Ruffians and all that stuff? Oh yeah, okay. For those of you out there who have never played D&D before, Lost Mines of Phandelver is a great starting point. Like, it's an excellent, very well written adventure. Also, Dragons of Icespire Peak is another excellent like starter kit. Highly recommend. But if you didn't DM, so you've never created your own character.
I've never created a character.
Excellent. That is the point of today's video. And so, let us go ahead and dive right in. So, some people pick a class first and then pick their race based on what like fits it best.
That's cheating.
But I prefer to go the other way around just because I feel like, I mean, don't get me wrong, optimization and compelling characters are not mutually exclusive. I'm a munchkin at heart.
You're born a certain way.
And then you gotta play to your strengths.
You gotta play to your strengths.
Exactly. So, race selection.
Okay.
First things first.
Yes.
Would you want to play a human or literally anything else?
Literally anything else.
Okay.
That's being a human in D&D is like being vanilla ice cream in an ice cream shop.
It's like 32 flavors. I'm gonna pick that one,
Yeah.
the most basic one.
Yes.
What type of environment do you imagine this thing being from, this character or this person? Is it forest, a desert, city, underground? Like what sort of environment do you picture them in?
I wouldn't say like swamp, but I would say like rainforest, like rainforest,
Rainforesty.
swamp, you know,
a wet environment.
humid, wet.
Is this just Oregon? Is your character from
Oregon? I'm trying to play myself.
I mean, you could do that. You could be the human Brady from Oregon.
Yeah.
Would your character, you think, be descended from like powerful creatures like giants, dragons, or genies? Would they be descended from like devils? Would they be amphibious and have like an affinity for water? Like, would they be from, you know, have an affinity for like I said, forest, trees, you know, high mountain peaks? How do you envision them, like, and their ancestry?
I think my character would be more charismatic,
Ooh.
have a winning personality.
Okay.
Like myself.
Okay. Winning personality.
Yeah.
I like that. So like more innately charismatic.
Yeah.
So we've got a character who's innately sort of a little bit more on the charismatic side, from like a forest, like very green, maybe sort of like rainy area.
Yes.
Okay. Starting to come together. And would you, like, physically, would you imagine this character as like taller, bigger, and broader, more robust? Or smaller, sort of more quick and nimble?
I would say, yeah, this person would not be imposing at all.
Imposing at all.
Non-imposing. Like, I would say that they don't, like...
Would you imagine, when you think about the type of community that this character comes from, like the society, would you want them to be like, again, like more like tough, martial, warlike, sort of like, you know, Sparta-esque? Would you imagine more like Athenian-esque, like they value like art and literature? And like they're very peaceful? Are they very prolific and like out in the open and just like, hey, we're here, come on by? Or are they like secretive and keep to themselves? Or are they a society of like outcasts who like do not play nice with others?
I like the prolific idea.
Prolific.
I like them being out there and
out there, okay.
doing their thing, if that makes sense.
Okay, out there doing their thing. Ooh, okay. So we got charismatic, sort of, you know, not physically imposing, from the forest. We're starting. Okay. All right. Would this character, you think, and the society they come from, would they tend to be like more like follow the rules, goody two shoes? Would they be like, nah, the rules are guidelines, you don't have to follow those? Would they be like evil even? Like maybe a little mischievous, a little, maybe even more than mischievous, maybe like kind of a jerk? Or like would they be what some people might perceive as evil, but to them they're not?
With the whole aspect of being like out there and everything, I feel like they'd be kind of eccentric a little bit and be kind of like, yeah, I know the natural order of things and like I know the rules that need to be followed, but I don't subscribe to that. Like I think it's just kind of fun to mess around, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. Okay. Now, would your character be interested in bringing the values of their people to others, or would you view them as more of an outcast from their own society? Would they be like an evil person in a society of good people? Would they be a good person in a society full of like evil schemers and manipulators? Tell me about like the people they come from and where your guy or girl fits in.
I feel like they would be an outcast just because of how out there they are. Like I feel like they have good, sort of like, maybe not good intentions, but like I think that if this were like a story, they would have like messed up along, like they would have something like messed up along the way, and they would have been outcast from their own society. But that's only because of how like oddball they are and kind of just like chaotic their personality can be.
Interesting. Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
That is the extent of my questions that I have for your character, and I think
that's it.
That's it as far as the race selection.
Oh, okay,
goes.
okay.
Not. We still got the whole other side of it. But I think I've landed on what you'd be.
Okay.
I think that Brady would be a forest gnome.
A gnome?
A gnome. I think you'd be a gnome. Because, so here's why. Gnomes are like somewhat secretive as a society, but your character in particular would like want to be out there and kind of like more charismatic.
Right.
Now, typically gnomes get bonuses to intelligence and dexterity, so they're like smaller and a little more nimble.
Right.
But with the new rules and Tasha's, you could totally switch that around. So it would either be a gnome or you would be a Lightfoot halfling. Both small races.
I was gonna say, I think gnome would be pretty interesting.
I think you'd be a gnome, which is funny because Brady has a bunch of gnomes at his desk.
Oh my god.
So like, right? I just thought of it too. So I think you're a forest gnome because they're like kind of quirky. They live in forests. They tend to be, as a society, they tend to be like somewhat secretive just because they're smaller, and so they don't necessarily live out in the open.
Right.
But like you said, forest gnomes who are more out there and who want to go out and explore tend to leave the gnomish societies and like go out into the world.
Interesting.
And so your guy would I think he'd be a forest gnome.
I think that's pretty spot.
Yeah.
That's spot on.
Yeah. I think you'd be, so we got it. Forest gnome. Brady's a forest gnome. Excellent. Now we get into maybe arguably my favorite part of all of it, which is class selection. So the first question, would this character, let's call him Narbuck Turnbuckle. Would you want to play a character who is like aggressive and like say you're with your friends and combat breaks out, like and monster attacks? Are you gonna go like right up in it, jump right in, and be like aggressive? Are you gonna be like someone who kind of runs around like helping people out, contributing where they can? A character who isn't great at combat actually, but actually has like a variety of other skills and is much more supportive, or someone who again is more supportive and like sets their allies up for cool abilities and is like, no, I don't want to stab things.
Okay.
Or a healer. Or would you even be like a healer, someone who mends wounds and that sort of thing?
Fuck healing. I don't want to.
Fuck healing. Awesome.
I'm the support.
Dude, like so many people in D&D are like, man, I gotta be the healer. everybody's like, can I just like take healing word and like call it good?
Yeah.
The healer is always, it's like such an important role in every party, but a lot of times no one wants to do it.
Non-combative, but like I have all these tools at my availability to kind of think creatively through combat and see how I can use everything to my advantage.
Okay. I'm already getting like a really good sense of I think what Brady would want to play.
Okay.
Now, so further questions on this. Would this character, you think, if they do fight or if they get involved, would they fight purely with weapons? Maybe weapons, but like augmented by magical ability? Would they wield like sword and spell equally, or would they be someone who relies like purely on like magical talent and like inventiveness to win the day? Like, do you see them with a weapon, not a weapon? How do you kind of envision that?
I would say probably they need some sort of like magic ability, and that they're gonna rely on kind of like their spells and like their items to win the day.
Okay, spells and items to win the day. Interesting. Okay.
Like, you know, like rocks, rope,
Right.
all that weird stuff that you have in your backpack while you're traveling, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, okay. So, is your character, are they sort of a quiet observer? Do they like to wait until the opportune moment to like strike? Or are they the kind of person to like throw down the gauntlet and issue a challenge? Are they like, and when you think about sort of the things that make them tick, are they like, do they serve like an ideal? Or like a you know, do they have like a god who they're in service to? Are they looking for like vengeance? Or are they attracted to like the wild and beautiful places of the world? Or are they like purely in it for self-interest? Like, are they driven by their friends? Like, what's their sort of motivation, you think? What kind of like is in their bones a little bit?
I like the idea that, like, I like the classic, like, Lord of the Rings, where, like, they want to be an adventurer to collect, like, stories or whatever. Like, and then they can be, like, old and, like, sitting around a campfire and telling, like, this community their stories, if that kind of makes sense.
Okay, I think, like, with that last little bit that you just said,
Yeah.
I think I know exactly what you want to play.
Okay.
I think I know. I think that you, sir, are a forest gnome bard.
A bar.
A bard. A bard, yes. I think you're a bard. Because bards are, like, that's like their whole thing, is they go out into the world, collect and tell stories.
Oh.
They're very support oriented.
Yep.
They don't have a lot of like direct combat abilities, but they have a lot of abilities that they can like inspire their allies. They have a lot of tool proficiencies. Like if you have a bard in your party, they're the one who talks. Like, it's like talk to our bard. I think based on what you've said, you would want to be a lore bard. Largely their ability is to like charm, like redirect things. Again, they inspire their allies and things like that to like make them better. But that's really funny. And it's so fun because that's like the joy of character creation, is you can envision this character and like what you think they're like, and then you find the thing that's going to. And bards are so fun. They're so much fun because they get to like fuck with people.
You can alter the whole story. I think that's super cool.
Their spells are all like about like, again, like charming, disarming. Like one of their best spells one of my favorite spells they have is called Dissonant Whispers, where they can like whisper something to someone and then like frighten them, and that creature has to like, it gets like an opportunity to resist the spell, but if it fails, it has to like run away. It's like, ah! And they can like, when they get higher levels, they can do things like dominate, like they can dominate people and like take control of their brains, and like you do exactly what I tell you to do and that's it. But yeah, it's so, bards are amazing, and I think you'd have a great time playing one.
I love it.
Guys, we landed on it. So far, hang on, in our G-Mineo D&D adventuring party, so far we have a tiefling sorcerer arcane archer from Mark. And now we've got a forest gnome bard named Narbuck Turnbuckle.
Narbuck Turnbuckle.
From Brady. But what did you think of character creation, Mr. Brady?
I hated it because... wait, let me finish. I hated it because...
I'm like, oh man.
Now I want to play so badly.
Well, maybe that's another video. Maybe we can get here, we can roll stats, we can pick your skill proficiencies and really walk you through the actual, and like at the end actually have like a character sheet.
I'd love that. This has been like, it's so exciting to have like, even like this small remnants of a story start, you know?
It's so fun, and like I feel like already I'm envisioning this person, like this character, and like, ooh, what makes them tick, and like why'd they leave? Like next time I make the guys do D&D stuff, Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of Brady's character selection. Do you think, based on his answers, that he would be open to playing something else? Do you think that there would be anything different that might sort of scratch that itch of his character? Let us know down in the comments below.
Also, let us know if you want us to be doing more D&D stuff.
Yep.
Maybe play a game at some point.
I
don't know. Maybe we're working towards that. Maybe we're suggesting something.
I mean, maybe we're kind of floating it out into the universe to see what the community response is, you know? I mean, we're building characters after all, so...
I mean...
Let us know.
Give us a like if you like this video as well.
Subscribe, yes, do that, and hit the bell if you have not done those two things already. And as always, game it till you make it. Bye, guys.